Chosen one, this Tuesday is not a normal Tuesday. The Lord says you will regret missing this, because what happens in the Spirit first will decide what your hands touch next. I hear the Father calling you by a name your pain almost made you forget. Not by your failure, not by your delay, not by the season that tried to bury your confidence. I hear Him calling you chosen one, and He is saying that this Tuesday carries a weight your life has been preparing for, even when you did not know it. There is a kind of divine moment that does not arrive with fireworks. It arrives with a whisper. It arrives wearing ordinary clothes. It arrives looking like a Tuesday, looking like a day you almost overlook, looking like another repetition of your week, until heaven places a seal on it and says, "This one matters." And I need you to feel this in your spirit right now, because some of you have been so bruised by missed chances that you have started assuming every open door is a trick, every new instruction is too late, every holy nudge is just your imagination. But the Lord says, no, this one is mine, this one is marked, this one is not passing you by unless you choose to sleep through it. I am speaking to the one who's been saying, I am tired of almost healed, almost settled, almost restored, almost ready, almost answered, almost chosen. But the Spirit of God is interrupting the word almost with the word appointed. I hear the Father saying, you have not been circling your pain for nothing. You have been circling a gate. I hear Him saying, you have not been delayed for no reason. You have been held in the doorway until your heart could recognize what I am about to place in your hands. I hear Him saying, this Tuesday is not random. This Tuesday is a signpost in your story, and I need to speak to the exact wound this title reaches. It is the wound of missing the moment because you were too exhausted to notice it. It is the wound of losing timing because you were hurt by timing before. It is the wound of being called chosen yet feeling overlooked. It is the wound of hearing soon so many times that your hope started limping. But the Lord says, I am not teasing you. I am not dangling blessings to mock you. I am not speaking to confuse you. I am speaking to align you. I am speaking to you, my chosen one. Don't miss this moment. If you hear me, press like and write in the comment. I won't miss Tuesday. Subscribe and turn on the bell. Stay ready when I call. So hear this, chosen one. What is happening this Tuesday is connected to what you survived last season. What is happening this Tuesday is connected to the tears you cried when nobody saw. What is happening this Tuesday is connected to the private obedience you kept doing when you felt no applause. I see in the Spirit a door with oil on the handle, not blood on the threshold oil, not ash oil, not regret oil. That means the door was anointed before you got there. And the Lord says, do not despise the ordinary packaging of what I am sending. Some of the greatest moments in your life will not announce themselves with drama. They will arrive in a simple conversation, a sudden conviction, a message you were about to ignore, an opportunity that looks too small for the size of your prayer. This is why your spirit has felt restless. This is why sleep has not fully settled you. This is why certain distractions have started tasting like dust. This is why what once entertained you now feels hollow. Because heaven has been tapping on your life with the same message. Get ready to recognize the day. Now listen carefully, because I hear the Lord giving this verse to your situation. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. That means what is coming to you is not arriving as an accident. It is arriving as a purpose with a calendar. And Habakkuk 2:3 says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Notice that. It says appointed time, not emotional time, not random time, not convenient time, appointed time. So when the Lord says this Tuesday, He is not just speaking about a day on a calendar. He is speaking about an appointment in the Spirit. He is speaking about a line being drawn between what used to confuse you and what will now confirm you. Chosen one, Tuesday is not coming to entertain you. It is coming to expose what matters. And I need you to hear this with trembling faith. The enemy loves sleepy believers. He loves distracted hearts. He loves those who keep saying, "I will check later." He loves postponed obedience. But the Lord says, this Tuesday, I am calling you awake before the window closes, not because God is cruel, because God is kind enough to warn you before the door shifts. I see in the Spirit a river bending around a stone. For a long time you thought the stone was blocking you, but the Lord says the stone was only revealing where the current would go once you moved. That is what this Tuesday is like. A current is shifting, a path is turning. And if you are not attentive, you will call holy movement ordinary weather. So I say again, with fire rising inside this word, you will regret missing this. Not because God is trying to shame you, but because this moment carries the kind of mercy that does not repeat the same way twice. And for the one who is scared right now, I need to speak gently into your trembling. You are not being set up for loss. You are being set up for clarity. There are some seasons where the blessing is not the obvious gift. The blessing is the instruction. There are some seasons where the breakthrough is not the celebration. The breakthrough is the correction. There are some seasons where what you need most is not a miracle that dazzles you. It is a direction that saves you. This Tuesday may come with a word you did not expect, a conviction you cannot shake, a line in a conversation that lands like thunder, a closed door that is actually the kindness of God, a sudden opening that proves the Lord has been arranging things behind your back. And I hear the Spirit saying, if you will not worship me for the timing you wanted, worship me for the timing I chose, because the timing he chose is connected to the life he is building in you. Psalm 102:13 says, Thou shalt arise, and have mercy upon Zion, for the time to favor her, yea, the set time is come. Set time, not guessed time, not hoped for time. Set time, not hoped for time. Set time. There are people watching this who have been asking, why now? And heaven answers, because the set time has come. You have cried in one season long enough. You have waited in one posture long enough. You have been bent under pressure long enough. The Lord says, I am shifting you from surviving the pressure to stewarding the promise. And some of you need to know this particular Tuesday will reveal whether you are ready to carry what you keep praying for. Because prayer is not the same as readiness. Desire is not the same as readiness. Crying is not the same as readiness. Readiness is when your spirit says yes before your fear finishes speaking. I see in the spirit a clock with no hands. That means this is not about human control. This is not about being able to manage the outcome. This is about surrendering to divine order. And the Lord says, stop asking for more signs than I already gave you. Start obeying the sign you already received. Some of you already know what this message is pointing to. You have felt it. You have sensed it. You have had that inner nudge, that holy discomfort, that quiet insistence. The problem is not that God has been silent. The problem is that your pain has been speaking louder than your discernment. But the Lord says, on this Tuesday, I am turning the volume of your spirit back up. I need to say this to the one who feels like the title itself is about your fear. Yes, it is. It is about the place where you hesitate. It is about the place where you delay. It is about the place where you say, maybe later. And the Lord says, later is where blessings go to die, when fear is not confronted. So I hear the Father saying, I am delivering you from the religion of delay. I am delivering you from the habit of postponing your obedience until the emotion feels safer. I am delivering you from watching your life through the fog of past regret, because there is a holy urgency on this word, not panic. Urgency, not fear, alertness. And here is the first emotional peak you need to receive. The thing you thought you missed may still be within the mercy of God, but the window to recognize it is narrowing. That is why your spirit has been stirred. That is why certain situations have become impossible to ignore. That is why the same theme keeps finding you. That is why Tuesday keeps appearing in your heart like a beacon. The Lord is not playing games with your soul. He is training your attention. Isaiah 60,001:2 says, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee. Arise, not sit in the ashes, not negotiate with darkness, not keep replaying the last loss. Arise." And I declare this over the chosen one who is listening right now. This Tuesday is carrying a rising in discernment, a rising in courage, a rising in alignment, a rising in spiritual hearing. I see in the spirit a seed splitting open in dark soil. Nobody claps for the breaking of a seed, but heaven does, because breaking is not the end of the seed, it is the beginning of the harvest. Some of you are in the breaking place right now. Your plans broke, your expectations broke, your comfort broke, your old identity broke, and you called it loss. But the Lord says, I called it preparation. The chosen one is not always prepared by applause. Sometimes the chosen one is prepared by disruption. Now let me move deeper, because this title carries not only a promise, but a warning. The warning is not meant to terrify you. It is meant to rescue your timing. There are moments when God is saying, come closer. There are moments when God is saying, stop looking back. There are moments when God is saying, do not miss the thing I placed right in front of your obedience. And I hear the Spirit saying, your next open door will not look like the door you imagined, but it will feel like peace when you step toward it. 2 Corinthians 6:2 says, behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Now is the day of salvation. Now is the accepted time. That means heaven has a now. Heaven has a moment. Heaven has a door that is open for a season and then moves with holiness. So I am speaking to every weary heart that has become trained to say, I'll deal with it later. The Lord says, later is the language of a life that keeps dodging deliverance. And I need to ask you a question that cuts through the fog. What if the thing you keep calling inconvenient is actually the mercy that keeps your whole future from collapsing? What if the interruption you resent is the rescue you prayed for? What if this Tuesday is not demanding your comfort, but your survival? Chosen one, are you hearing what the Spirit is saying? Because I hear the Father asking another question over you. What exactly have you been waiting for? Another sign? Another dream? Another person to validate what I already whispered? Another week to pass so you can pretend the urgency is not real? No, the Lord says, I have already spoken enough for the obedient to move. Here is the second emotional peak. The Lord is about to reward the part of you that kept saying yes while your emotions were still trembling. You thought heaven only noticed big faith, but the Father noticed your small yeses. The yes when nobody was clapping, the yes when you were tired, the yes when it cost you pride, the yes when it made no sense, the yes you whispered through tears. And this Tuesday is tied to those hidden yeses. I see in the Spirit a hand placing a key into a lock that has resisted every other key. That key is not flashy. It is not golden in the way people would admire, but it is exact. That is what timing does. It makes the exact key fit the exact lock. So I need you to hear the Lord saying, I am not giving you a generic blessing. I am giving you a generic blessing. And for the one who has been wondering if you are crazy for feeling this strongly, no, you are not crazy. You are being awakened. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a sign that heaven has been near enough to disturb your numbness. Now listen to this verse because it carries the heartbeat of this message. Revelation 3:7-8 says, "These things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David. I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. No man can shut it. No delay can cancel it. No enemy can outvote it. No history can block it. But you must see it when it opens. That is why the title says you'll regret missing this, not because the door was never opened, but because the door will open and demand recognition. And I hear the Lord say, this is where your discernment matures. Not every blessing shouts. Not every warning sounds harsh. Not every warning sounds harsh. Not every breakthrough feels like relief at first. Some breakthroughs feel like conviction. Some look like a detour. Some arrive like a small command with enormous consequence. I see in the spirit a road sign standing in the middle of a storm. The sign has your name on it. The storm cannot move it. The wind cannot erase it. But you have to read it. And the Lord says, I am giving you a sign that will only make sense if you stop insisting on your own map. That is why Proverbs 3:5-6 is breathing so loudly in this message. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. This Tuesday will require trust more than explanation. And I know that irritates the part of you that wants control. But control has not healed you. Control has not restored you. Control has not repaired the hidden damage of trying to outthink your calling. The Lord says, I am not asking you to know everything. I am asking you to know me enough to move. Now I need to speak into the heart of the specific pain this title exposes. Some of you have already missed things in the past. You know the ache of arriving late. You know the shame of realizing too late that God was speaking. You know the grief of saying, I should have answered sooner. And because of that, every future instruction feels loaded with fear. But the Father says, I am not bringing up your past misses to condemn you. I am bringing them up to redeem your pattern. That means the enemy wanted your regret to become your personality. God says, no, I will make it your testimony of learning how to hear me more closely. And here is the third emotional peak. The Lord is not just trying to get your attention. He is trying to break the spell of self-blame that has kept you frozen. You are not the sum of the moment you missed. You are not the sum of the door you hesitated at. You are not the sum of the wrong yes or the delayed no. You are the sum of what God still says over you. And he says, you are chosen. I hear the Father speaking over the chosen one with deep tenderness. I knew you would need mercy in order to move, so I built mercy into the moment. I knew you would need clarity in order to obey, so I built clarity into the signal. I knew you would need courage in order to step, so I am sending courage ahead of you. That is why the warning and the promise are braided together in this title. Because some of you will not miss this if you stay awake in your spirit. Some of you will not miss this if you stop overcomplicating the simple holy thing in front of you. Some of you will not miss this if you finally trust that the same God who carried you through the dark did not bring you this far to leave you standing outside the gate. Joel 2025:26 says, And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten, and ye shall eat in plenty, and be satisfied. Restore to you the years, not just the mood, not just the feeling, the years. That means this Tuesday may be linked to restoration so specific that it feels like God is rethreading time through your hands. I see in the spirit a torn page being reinserted into a book. What was ripped out is not lost to God. He knows how to bind what grief tried to separate. And now I need to intensify this because the Lord keeps pressing one word into the center of the message. Watch. Watch the timing. Watch the instruction. Watch the recurring pattern. Watch the sudden peace. Watch the uncomfortable no. Watch the unexpected yes. Watch the thing that makes your spirit stand at attention, because sometimes the miracle is not the thing itself. Sometimes the miracle is noticing it before it passes. This is why the repeated line must land inside your soul. This Tuesday is not ordinary. The enemy wanted you dulled. He wanted you heavy. He wanted you scrolling past your own answer. But the Lord says, I am restoring your spiritual reflexes. And when your reflexes return, your destiny becomes easier to discern. Let me give you another vision. I see in the spirit a candle lit inside a room with no windows. The flame is small, but it is enough to reveal a hidden door in the wall. That is what this word feels like. It is not trying to illuminate the whole house at once. It is only lighting the exact place where you must step next. That is how God often works with chosen people. He gives enough light for obedience, not enough to feed pride. And the one who is listening who has felt overlooked, hear me. Overlooked does not mean unseen. Unrecognized does not mean unmarked. Uncelebrated does not mean unimpressed by heaven. Psalm 102:17 says, He will regard the prayer of the destitute and not despise their prayer. Not despise, not dismiss, not forget. So when you feel like your prayers have been sitting on a shelf, the Lord says, they have been rising like incense in the unseen place. Now I want to press into some signs to watch for, because this message is not just emotional, it is directional. Watch for a conversation that arrives unexpectedly and feels heavier than it should. Watch for a sudden pause in something you assumed would continue. Watch for a renewed burden to do the exact thing you have been avoiding. Watch for a phrase, a number, a memory, or a repeated image that keeps knocking on your inner door. Watch for unusual peace when you think about stepping forward. Watch for discomfort when you think about staying where you are. Those are not random sensations. Those may be the Spirit separating the true path from the decoy path. I hear the Father saying, I am not hiding from you. I am training you to notice me in real time. And here comes the fourth emotional peak. This Tuesday may be the day you realize the blessing was never primarily about what you receive. It was about who you become when you finally obey without needing everything explained. That is where the breakthrough changes shape. A weak heart wants certainty. A formed heart wants God. A weak heart asks, what if I regret it? A formed heart asks, what if I obey and the whole atmosphere changes? Because yes, the atmosphere can change, the room can change, the trajectory can change, the spirit around your home can change, the decisions around your future can change. I see in the spirit a gatekeeper stepping aside, not because you forced him, not because you begged long enough, but because your appointed time reached the threshold and heaven said, open now. And when that happens, you will realize some of what you called resistance was actually containment. God was keeping what you were not ready to carry. God was sheltering what the wrong season would have distorted. So I say to the chosen one, do not curse the delay until you understand the mercy in the delay. That is why the Lord keeps repeating the same thing through this message. You will regret missing this, not because God delights in loss, because He delights in awakening you before the day changes. And I hear the Father adding, this Tuesday carries a test of attention and a gift of honor. If you listen, you will recognize me in the middle of the ordinary. Now let me speak about the empowerment that comes when you stop asking whether you are allowed to move. You are allowed because you are led. You are allowed because you are called. You are allowed because the Lord has already made the way before the moment reached your eyes. Isaiah 43:19 says, behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Shall you not know it? That is the question. Will you know it when it springs forth? Some of you are waiting for a miracle to look like your imagination. But God says, my new thing may not look familiar, but it will carry my hand. I see in the Spirit a wilderness splitting open with water underneath. What looked dry was never dead. What looked barren was hiding a stream. What looked final was only concealed. This is what Tuesday can do when heaven marks it. It reveals the stream under the sand. It reveals the door under the wall. It reveals the answer under the ache. And now I need to speak declarations over you, not as empty words, but as spiritual fire. You are not forgotten on the day that matters. You are not hidden from the moment that matters. You are not late for the mercy that matters. You are being positioned. You are being sharpened. You are being made able to carry the weight of what you asked for. And I hear the Lord saying, do not despise the trembling. Trembling and obedience can live in the same chest. That means you do not have to feel fearless to be faithful. You do not have to feel polished to be chosen. You do not have to feel fully ready to step into what God is marking. Some of you have been waiting until your voice stops shaking. But the Lord says, I often speak through shaking things. I often move through trembling vessels. I often place my glory in places that learned humility through pressure. I need to give you the fifth and final emotional peak, and I need it to land like thunder in your bones. There is a version of your life that only appears when you respond correctly to this Tuesday, not later, not someday, not after 3 more disappointments. This Tuesday, a version of your peace, a version of your authority, a version of your clarity, a version of your clarity, a version of your obedience, a version of your future that has been waiting behind one faithful response. So hear me as I speak in the Spirit. I see a sealed envelope with your name on it, and the seal is breaking. I see a staircase that was invisible until the light shifted, and now the first step is showing. I see a hand that was clenched in fear opening, because the Father's voice is stronger than the old trauma. I see a harvest that was delayed by weather, not denied by promise. And I hear the Lord saying, this is the hour where the chosen one stops asking permission from pain. That is the language of your next level, not permission from fear. Not permission from old rejection, not permission from the memory of what happened before, permission from heaven. And heaven is saying yes. So I declare with rising fire over the one watching right now, the day you feared will not conquer you. The moment you dreaded will not break you. The Tuesday you kept sensing in your spirit will not pass without speaking. The Lord says, I am placing a holy interruption in your path, and the interruption is mercy. And this is the line I need to repeat because it must settle deep. This delay was never denial. It was containment. It was preparation. It was protection. It was timing. It was heaven holding your blessing until your spirit could hear it correctly. Now I hear the Father speaking one more time with fire and tenderness braided together. Chosen one, I am not asking you to understand the whole staircase. I am asking you to take the first step when I reveal it. I am not asking you to predict the whole river. I am asking you to trust the current when it begins to move. I am not asking you to possess the whole promise at once. I am asking you to recognize the appointed moment when it stands before you. And I see it again, the door with oil on the handle, the river bending around the stone, the seed splitting in dark soil, the candle lighting the hidden doorway. That is the language of this Tuesday. That is the voice inside this warning. That is the mercy inside this title. And I need to leave this burning in the atmosphere. If you treat this day casually, you may call it a normal Tuesday when heaven was actually handing you a hinge. But if you honor the moment, if you listen, if you respond, if you move when the Lord says move, then this Tuesday will not just happen to you, it will reveal you. It will reveal your faith. It will reveal your maturity. It will reveal your readiness. It will reveal the next shape of your obedience. And I hear the Lord saying one last time, louder than the rest, you will regret missing this. Because this Tuesday is carrying the kind of holy appointment that does not ask whether you are busy, it asks whether you are listening. And the one who listens will step into a mercy, so precise, so personal, so unmistakably God, that even the old version of your life will not be able to call you back from the threshold where heaven has already placed your name. I am still with you, closer than you think. Press like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Stay aligned with me. This is just the beginning.